spoke about the gifted children who are identified, but they are gifted. Something like we can take examples. Like Albert Einstein was 4 years old before he could speak and 7 before he could read. And then Thomas Alva Edison was a boy. His teachers told him he was too stupid to learn anything. Like that, there are things, we are unable to identify the gifted child too. Okay. You can also throw some light on that particular aspect, that angle of the gifted child.
Looking only at academic performance. A child may be a gifted child just because he has a musical talent. A child may have the talent of acting or fine arts or something like that. So a gifted child is a problem solver. A gifted child is one who thinks out of the box. So he may not get the best of marks, but he'll be the most active child in the class. So let us not limit a gifted child only to academics.
Especially after hyperparenting is one of the biggest things that's happening around, and parents are so curious about every little thing, every little gesture that the child is making. In this scenario, IQ is not only thing that we measure, it's also about EQ, PQ, CQ, and also MI. I'll elaborate. It's emotional quotient, it's curiosity quotient. It is very important to check how curious the child is, to figure out that where is he lacking or what is he excellent with. Passion quotient is another thing. Gifted children are seen with very high passion quotient, that they are passionate about what they like or what they are fantastic with. They might be really ignoring what other things normal children must be doing. I'm sure counselors can help in that, and it's a program which is not constructed by school alone. The parent, the pediatrician, the psychologist, the teacher, and the child himself should be the part of this program. It's called IEP, Individualized Educational Program, where child would actually set a goal, and as a supporter, we plan it out. So it's very essential to understand the complete psychology behind it and all the aspects, spice of that child, which is going to be very different. That is social, physical, intellectual, cognitive, as well as emotional quotient. And trying to fit him into a normal school is definitely heads off to all of you that you're putting your effort. I would recommend there is a video if you can watch. It's called Animal School. Suggest all your teachers to watch every 3rd month. It will sort out lots of problems. It's called Animal School. It's an animated thing which talks about different kind of students that you face and how do you deal with them in normal school. Thank you.
Most of us are doing in our schools. The important thing that we need to look at is not the knowledge that we all have regarding MI and regarding the jigsaw method that we follow. It's important how we put it into action into our classrooms, the methodology we follow with our students. And that's where I think I should say that in our school, we do follow the MI, Multiple Intelligence by Howard Gardner, as we all know. But how we do it is we divide a class into groups and then we prepare separate worksheets. And that's what we have to actually look at to identify gifted children. So suppose we are teaching a poem. So in a poem, definitely there are children who are musical by nature. If you look at the MIs, so we ask the children to sing a song based on the poem. Some of them can express it through artistry. Some of them can create parallelism through another poem. And some of them would like to display through a game. That is what we are looking at, and that is where we actually identify talent. Basically, are they kinesthetic? Are they literary? Are they artistic? Are they musical? This is what we look at, and from there we actually take on regarding the MIs. But not identified, like you said, till we create such a worksheet, right? Or create a lesson. From there they take on. We need not even do anything. All we need to do is identify the lesson. From there the children take on when we put them into groups. Another method that, when I did my course with Harvard University on differential instruction, best classroom practices, one was the jigsaw method, wherein we put students into groups, and in each group we select a leader. The leader can be selected by the children themselves. And from there we give them from the same lesson, different paths. And the leader, he himself plans how to teach. He plans how to utilize his classmates, his group mates, and from there, he teaches the other groups. Through that, we get to know another talent of the child, and that is where the gift of the child comes out. Is he good in English and communication skills? Is he good in presentation, debating, elocution, dramatization? Things like that are brought out. This is one method also which we have been using successfully in our school. Apart from devising HOTS, high order thinking skills, for the gifted, and LOTS, low order thinking skills, for the below average, and for the average different worksheets, the HOTS really help us. So while the average children are doing a math worksheet in class, the HOTS worksheet is separately prepared and given to children. Otherwise, we must realize that a gifted child is going to get bored in an average class. And when he gets bored, he disturbs the class. And what we call indiscipline might not be indiscipline. Might be that he is actually above the class. That is where we actually need to work with them. Class 5 child has written a book, and definitely we need to acknowledge it in assembly and get it published, encourage the child. Like you said, ma'am, a class 5 child is doing class 10 physics in the bus. In school bus, evening, he has a separate book where he creates his theorems. It's surprising to know the class 10 students surround him in the bus asking doubts. And I think that is a gifted child. And we encourage this in assemblies. So the child is motivated and encouraged to do further than that. There are some ways in which we do. We all do that. But probably we could look at MI as really a good strategy. Thank you.
We do discuss, points how to handle the, gifted children. But the question, as sir said just now, how to identify. What I could summarize, making different worksheets. Through that, we can recognize who is doing, the worksheets in a different way, or as ma'am said, the jigsaw puzzle. What I thought might be in a general class, going technical might not be that so possible. So might be we can observe the teachers handling the students can observe through their thought process, how quickly, how differently they are thinking. Might be we can look into the time management, how they are doing it differently than the other class, than the normal class student in that class, and their general behavior in the class. And that's it.
Disturbed. Teacher's teaching process gets disturbed. So what normally a teacher does is, please sit down. You wait because you have to allow others to talk. In that whole process, either the child, as ma'am was telling, keeps disturbing, or there comes a point where he stops contributing. You cannot do anything in a normal school or anything because there is a time limit and teachers have to follow it, because more or less we ask what happened to the portion and syllabus. We tell that's the reason we started experimenting. We are saying that you are interested, it's good. This particular topic, can you get extra information, because even I as a teacher would like to learn more. So there is a slight leadership given, and you find that next day on the board there is an extra information, and most of the time we end up learning, and the child feels that he has acquired, he has shown something. So maybe on a small note, but this is one practice we have been trying to motivate them. And we did find 1 or 2 children who are very much into sports, and they have an exceptional interest in that. And then we keep telling them that if you can do a little bit in academics, we try to give you an extra time on ground. So something we are trying to work out. I hope that we are going in the right path.
A teacher does when she gets a class for the first time to address what are the strengths of each child. But while a school is meant to address the needs of every student, I think the gifted children are the most neglected nowadays. There are learning centers, special education wings in every school. So it is the below average and the average children are, their needs are met, whereas these children are often neglected. While we are doing this, I would like to know how many schools are actually looking at the Western model of a formal accelerated program where, a child who is very good at math in grade 4 or 5 is attending a grade 6 or a 7 math class, something like that. is what I'm extremely curious about, because very often it bothers me that, probably these children are losing interest because we are not able to fulfill their needs. So if there is something that anybody has, I would love to learn.
Was very much happy where certain topics that he feels in mathematics of grade 10 that he doesn't have an idea, an extra time where he is someone who doesn't enjoy certain activities like science, he feels I already know and he does it. So teachers make the child sit during the support classes with the math teacher of our 10th grade, and she is someone who is very passionate, so she takes him through certain exercises. So that is one practice that we have started for him this year.
Non-judgmental and student-centered classroom, not teacher-centered classroom, where there is a possibility of inquiring the things with a peer group, at the same time having the independence to ask the questions. And general blunder we do with the gifted students is arranging them as the tutors for the struggling students. That is the blunder generally is happening in the society. We should not have that. At the same time, giving additional work to these people, calling, he has completed it, let us give some other thing, is also the second blunder is happening. We have to give the different work, not the extra work. Thank you.
So other children being, non-gifted children are being discouraged. How well we are equipped to handle that situation?
The gifted child. Because we know the teacher community, I don't know if everybody is facing the same problem or not. The teacher community, I don't know, their performance is dwindling. And it's only the educators are thinking, but then we don't have them on the same wavelength. And we try to convey something, and something else is being done in the classroom. And we tell them, yes, this is the 3-tier worksheets which are to be done. I said, just log on to the net, get the worksheets. And before that, like we do a lot of hand-holding for our teachers. We say during the vacation, this is the work that you have to do. Please do this, to ensure that they are equipped. And later they can train the students, identify the students. And in most of the schools, I think we're only concentrating on the students who are not on par with the others. I don't like to call them as low achievers. They may be interested in something else, but academically, they are not performing well. And the entire attention of the school is only on those students, because the parents come back at the end of the day, it is only the marks which matter to them. So we have to train the parents also, and then we have to tell the teachers, this is what you have to do. But what I'm experiencing in my school is training of my teachers. Making them to identify gifted children is what we're doing. And this MI and all what Gauri ma'am was telling, yes, it's wonderful. We've tried that out. First we did it for the teachers, and we wanted to know what their learning styles were, how well they are equipped, and what is their levels of intelligence, because we are all having one intelligence or the other, or it may be a combination of it. So we wanted the teachers to, I'm sure these children can move up like it's happening in America. You have the children doing mathematics at one level, and if the child is doing well, because I have my granddaughter who's there, and she is going to a higher level mathematics. It is allowed over there, but in our system we don't have.
The first basic thing that all teachers should learn is that all children are not alike. If a teacher enters the class and expects everyone to think the same way, to act the same way, she is on the wrong track. Every child is unique. They have their own unique learning styles. So a teacher must incorporate different styles of teaching. There must be a visual activity, a calisthenic activity in the teaching that would cater to all the learning styles. Because normally what teachers do is, I've taught the lesson, these have understood, these haven't understood, so they are the slow learners, these are the gifted children. So that is very wrong. In fact, there was an article in one of the educational magazines saying, are we creating jackasses in our schools? Because we, even in a single family where there are two children, both are totally different in their likes, their dislikes, their habits, etc. So how can a classroom of 25 children think and behave alike? So teachers have to keep that in mind when they are preparing their lesson, when they go into the classroom, and their lesson must have different styles of the teaching to cater to all the learners. As the saying goes, which every teacher must keep in mind. If I cannot understand or cannot learn the way you teach, teach me the way I learn. If I don't learn the way you teach, teach me the way I learn. So that's the basic concept for teaching these days. You can't expect the student to adjust to your teaching. The teacher has to adjust to the student's learning style.